So I thought my boobs were trying to kill me. Okay, let's back up a minute. If you've ever felt like you were allergic to life, like you react to food, smells, weather changes, mold, the environment, a full moon, cheers, you're in good company. And if you spent years thinking that problem was one thing, and then another thing, and another thing, and you're just trying to fucking figure it out, well then buckle up, because this video is basically my memoir of what I went through with exactly that and how I'm healing it. For a long time, I really thought that I was just allergic to life. Like this was just the card I was dealt and it sucked. It started with my stomach being dramatic. One day it was like my stomach just decided to say,
fuck this, I don't want to intake anything anymore.
I got one of those food sensitivity tests that basically told me, congratulations, you're allergic to everything on earth. So naturally, I cut everything out and restricted like my life depended on it. I would do anything not to get those debilitating stomach cramps that made me pass out ever again. Then one day, I ate chicken and I had the worst episode ever that night, and my brain immediately started scanning and trying to fix and figure out, and I was like, holy shit, I had chicken 12 hours ago. That must be it. And I'm not kidding you, I avoided chicken for
6 fucking years.
Because obviously chicken was the problem, right? And yeah, after eating healthier, my stomach issues did get better. But it didn't stop there, because I began to get other symptoms. Anxiety, brain fog, fatigue, a whole plethora of things that I was like, okay, something is seriously still wrong. And one day I read about breast implant illness, and I happen to have implants, and I thought, holy shit, this is me. I have these symptoms. It's my boobs. My boobs are the problem. This is why I don't feel good. So naturally, I got on a plane, flew to Costa Rica to get them removed, because if I'm going to be dramatic, I'm going to be internationally dramatic. I was convinced that this was the answer. This was going to change my life. The holy grail, the cure for everything. And to be honest, for a good minute, I actually did feel better. But then my symptoms were like,
No.
and plot twist, it wasn't the boobs either. Now, I don't believe the implants were actually good for my body, and there was actually a speck of mold in them. But when I realized that, I thought, that's it. It's the mold. I have a mold issue. So I went down the everlasting fun mold rabbit hole. If you know, you know. And I had certain practitioners and people convince me that I needed to get out of the house I was in because there was mold in the windows. And not only that, I had to get rid of every single item that I owned. So in my dramatic flair, I did just that. I spent thousands mold testing new homes, renovations for the new house, and all the new stuff that we needed to accumulate because everything was gone. And I also started to live very, very in fear of every little speck of mold anywhere, which I actually didn't know was going to make me worse. And you know what? For a little while, I felt better. I felt like I could take a breath. And then one day, the symptoms said,
Hey, bestie, miss me?
and I thought, shit, there is one thing that's been in the back of my mind this entire time that I've been avoiding, that I know I need to face head on. So then came the benzo era. No, not a benzo addiction, a benzo prescription that I was prescribed for over 10 years, that I knew that it was time to face and wean off of very slowly. And this one, okay, was legitimate. Benzos do cause chaos and damage long term. And I tapered for years like a responsible adult. But my nervous system still crashed like it was Windows 98, babe. And I went through withdrawal for a long time, and then I recovered and healed and got stronger. And for a while, I began to feel normal again. But then some of those old physical symptoms began to start creeping in again anyway. I was like, sir, I paid my dues.
What the fuck is this?
So now we come to the final chapter of my fix-it era. What I like to call the nose era. I thought, if I fix my deviated septum, I will fix the sinus issues. I will fix the headaches, the brain fog, the reactions to the weather. I will fix my histamine issues. I will fix my credit score. I will fix everything. But once again, I was in that fix-it mentality that was actually signaling danger to my nervous system, and I was wrong, because that surgery, it blew me wide open, baby. Throw in a couple surgery complications, some traumas going on at the same time, and my nervous system was basically like, I'm checking out. I'll be honest, I had worked hard on healing anxiety over all these years. I found that accepting anxiety was truly the key to it not ruling my life anymore, and I was in a really good place with that. But it was the physical symptoms that continued to creep up, and I didn't realize I was continuing to react to in a hyper-vigilant way by trying to always manage and fix everything. And because of the complications and the traumas that I went through during this time of surgery, my nervous system completely broke down at this point, and I panicked. The symptoms that I had been experiencing for years but managing somewhat got so much worse than they ever were. I'm talking like severe brain fog, severe fatigue, severe chronic pain in my entire body, hives and rashes reacting to weather changes and hormone changes in foods. This sucked. After everything that I had been through, I felt exhausted. I didn't want to climb back up that mountain again. But I'm actually glad that this happened to me because I found the real answer, the answer that I didn't see all along. See, all these years, I actually had what's known as mast cell sensitivity and histamine intolerance. And it made everything make sense. Why I reacted to the breast implants, the mold, the chicken, why I flared at my hormones and the weather and even my emotions. But here's the thing, I was done fixing. I was so done with fixing and searching and medicating and supplementing and getting rid of things in my body and outside of my body to try and make my life better. And I realized that the answer to all of this was the same answer that I taught myself to get through anxiety, and the same answer that I've been teaching all my clients as well, which is the answer was in me. Nowhere outside of myself. Nothing was going to fix this except within myself, teaching myself safety. See, I thought because the pattern of anxiety had dissolved that I was all better, but my body was still speaking to me through symptoms, letting me know that it still didn't feel safe. And I thought that I didn't have to do the inner work anymore. I didn't have to do a daily practice or take care of myself. I thought that by searching for outside answers for my physical symptoms, I was fixing the problem. But that was actually signaling further disruption to my nervous system. See, all along for all those years, I was not broken, poisoned, mold infested, chicken intolerant, allergic to life. I had mast cell hypersensitivity that was caused by a nervous system stuck in survival mode for too long. And my body was never weak or malfunctioning. It was actually trying to protect me. My mast cells were basically like overprotective bouncers at a club. You can't come in. You can't come in.
Especially not you, chicken.
Once you understand that mast cells take orders from your nervous system, everything makes sense. It wasn't the food, the boobs, the mold, the house, the benzos, the nose, the surgery. And although some of those things certainly helped support my body along the way, those were just chapters, not the causes. The real cause was a body stuck in red alert mode. And that created mast cell reactions, histamine intolerance, and a sensitivity to life itself. Now I can finally heal for real this time. And I've seen real progress, and I want to share with you exactly what I'm doing to heal mast cell and histamine issues. So the number one thing I'm doing is teaching my nervous system that life is not a threat anymore. And I'm doing this by doing things like somatic allowing, body drops, safety cues, visualization, rewiring old fear loops, actual emotional safety, teaching my body that it's safe to feel, brain retraining, and I'm living my life again instead of tiptoeing around everything. And honey, it is working. My symptoms are shifting. My body is changing and becoming less dramatic. I'm becoming less reactive. I'm adding in new foods. Life feels doable, and I feel stronger than I have ever felt. So yeah, turns out my boobs weren't trying to kill me. Sorry girls, we've been through a lot together. And if you're in that place thinking that it must be the mold or food or something within you that you haven't figured out yet, I totally get it. I've lived through almost every chapter. But sometimes the answer is not out there, it's within you. It's your wiring. And the beautiful part is is that that can change. I'm very blessed that my background with hypnotherapy, working with the subconscious mind and healing anxiety, gave me the answers a lot quicker than a lot of people get them. I'm blessed that I kind of fast-tracked a little bit because I started to know what to do very quickly after I discovered that the answer was actually within my nervous system. And that's why I want to spread the word. I want people to know that you don't have to suffer, you don't have to avoid everything in life, and that you can heal from things like mast cell activation syndrome, histamine intolerance, fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, POTS, and so much more. All you have to do is help signal safety to your nervous system and rewire those old patterns. And if you need help with that, Brain Body Reclaim teaches those exact tools that I've used to make leaps and bounds of progress, and I've watched clients heal with as well. And if you're completely new to this and you just want to tiptoe test the waters, you can grab my free 7-day calm kit. It walks you through a foundation of safety step by step. Just remember, your body is not your enemy. It's just been overwhelmed for too long. But it's never too late to teach it a new story. If you enjoyed this video, you found it interesting or helpful in any way, make sure you give it a thumbs up so that I know and so I can make more videos like this. And hit subscribe if you haven't yet. I'll see you guys next week with a brand new video and we'll continue this healing journey together.